There is so much that I don't even know where to start.
Are we rolling? Was I that enthralled?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know where to start. The beginning. Their Lord and Creator.
Salem.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We can start with the fight between Ironwood and Winter.
Okay.
What they were saying to one another as it was happening. Basically, Ironwood has just dug himself in. He just drew a moat around his position, and it will not let any further information enter his brain, and this is why he fails. He's just dead set on, I'm right, and I'm self-evidently right, so no matter what happens after this point, everyone is just operating in contradiction to my rightness. And so even though everything changes, and like obviously he's on different footing as time goes on, he's incapable of seeing it. Even to the point where, fucking Winter, his bottom bitch, has to fight him.
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh, I figured out she's, I didn't figure out. I went and read. She's based on the Ice Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. And now it makes her whole shtick make so much sense.
Mhm.
Those animations.
The Ice Queen
Yeah.
from
Fucking awesome. It's like an old fairy tale.
like Lion the Witch and the Wardrobe, or from like
No, it's like an old.
Like think along the
Scottish
lines
fairy tale, I
of
think?
like Grimm,
I
Yeah.
think
like
that
the Grimm brothers, but
Is
it's
it
not.
Scottish?
It's not the Grimm brothers.
Well, yeah, but I think that like Frozen is loosely
It's
based.
loosely, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
originally called Ice Queen before they started changing it more into what Frozen actually became.
Yeah, the original concept art
Yeah.
can still be found of
Mm.
it saying Ice Queen and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It's really nice.
Ice Queen.
But her there's depictions of her with two swords
Oh, cool.
as well. So with the fencing Bushido weird style that she she actually uses in the
Yeah.
show. So I was like, oh, well, this all makes so much more sense because I just
Yeah.
thought it was based on nothing.
Right.
'Cause-
Yeah.
I got 2 swords.
yeah, and she
One
knows
for
how
the
to
plug
fucking
and
use
one for the load.
it.
Yeah, man. Shit's cool.
Yeah. No, I really, really loved Winter this episode, and there's a lot to get into that later on. But
Aw,
just in
she's so good.
just in the beginning with her fight with Ironwood, the righteous conviction that she brought to the fight was just on point.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, though, so the sexy, scary Satan mommy is back.
Oh
Yeah. Did that happen before that?
Yeah,
No.
that was the very first thing we saw at the beginning of the episode was
Everything
Salem
like jumbling together.
regenerating.
Oh, yeah.
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 And Cinder's arm freaking out. And
Yeah, I
everything.
shouldn't have watched that on my phone the first time because I couldn't catch it. The blacks on your phone are not very good.
Right.
So like all that coalescing didn't
Yeah.
come through
Oh,
on it
yeah.
at all. So it was just a fuzz.
I was changing my brightness and volume right as the episode started, so like I missed it at first as well.
I watched it again later. I had to. I ran out of data on my phone, and I was gonna watch it on the way back.
Ah.
That's why I said RT.
Right.
Downloads take too fucking long.
Yeah.
Mm.
And everybody might want to look at their settings on their apps because I don't know if it changes it for everybody.
Mhm.
But I had to change everything to low to be able to download it in anywhere near enough time for me to not just like walk home instead and
Right.
watch it then.
Rooster Teeth does not work on my phone.
Oh,
Like
weird.
the app just does not work.
Huh. That's
I've
weird.
had a lot of issues with their app.
Well,
Yeah, it doesn't work on
sucks.
the Xbox
Yeah.
either.
I've never had an issue with their app before.
I've had glitchy shit happen, but I haven't had it like it'll crash on me if I try to like if I'm looking at the app and I try to pull down the settings up top.
Yeah.
It'll just be like, no,
I'm pretty sure
we're
your
not
phone's
just
just
working.
garbage, though.
It's an S10 Plus, so
You know, I mean,
no.
So say with my old phone,
my $70 camera or like phone. could
No,
do
it
better.
just recently started doing that.
Why?
I don't know. It updated and then it recently started doing that. So
Yeah,
something with the
after-
app is fucked up, not
Yeah.
my phone.
So, anyway, by calling a new phone, I guess is
Yep.
the point of the story.
Yep.
But so yeah, And then we get into the fucking what the fuck does Ruby call it? The fucking passageway or whatever.
Yeah.
Central location. We get into the central
Yeah.
location to Maiden Bowl 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it was so good.
Gosh, a lot of stiff hits this year.
Aaron, you called it that her semblance is actually her being able to control those.
This season, man.
Well,
wait.
No.
Who's
That's Maiden Powers?
whose semblance? What?
Was that Maiden Powers?
Penny's.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah,
sword.
those Maiden Powers.
Yeah, those
Maiden
were totally
Powers.
Maiden Powers because those were
Ice.
like those were like magic
Were
swords.
they made of ice? That didn't look like ice.
I don't think they were.
ice.
I don't think they were
No, they
ice. I think they were
weren't
just
ice.
energy. Like I think they were just like magic swords, just like
Yeah.
cinders.
Yeah, but like cinders
Yeah.
are made out of fire.
And Cinder
They're made
could do
out of
that before
compressed
she was a
fire.
maiden, I'm pretty sure.
Cinders
And
been
that too.
partial maiden the entire time that we've known her.
Yeah.
But cinders are made out of compressed fire. Those didn't look like
Yeah.
ice at all.
Well,
I thought
these
they were. I
No,
thought-
they're not
'cause
ice
she
because
generates
winter.
them.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah,
they're
no,
not her actual swords from before.
Winters
No.
are ice, but
Yeah.
Penny's is just like it kind of looks like green fire, but it is like
It's
some
mixed
kind of
with her
like
semblance.
electrical stuff.
Yeah.
It's mixed with her aura. We don't.
Her aura, yeah.
Yeah. Robot Penny didn't have a semblance.
Right.
Huh.
She just had weapons that she was able to manipulate because of being a robot.
Yeah.
And it would make sense that she would create like swords like she's always had out
That's
of
what
her.
she knows how to. That's the
Yeah.
Yeah.
weapon that she was
'Cause-
used to.
Yeah,
You do
and
what
they
you
were
know.
actually part of her prior.
Yeah, I get that, but I would have figured they would look more icy if that were the case.
I don't think they were.
But they're not
ice.
ice.
Right.
I thought they were like texture wise they looked like they were like carved out of like ice to me.
They just looked like her aura,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Like it was
but
just formed out
all
of.
of her maiden powers
your
though are
end
based
on that.
off of ice though, aren't they?
No,
Mm-mm.
the maidens all share elementary
See,
powers.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
Yeah.
I'm with
all
Nolan on this one.
the very first time when you see Amber fight in Volume 3, she uses everything. She uses ice, she uses wind, she uses fire, like lightning. Maidens can use the full gamut. They're not like specific to winter has winter powers, spring
So Cinder just uses fire because
she's Cinder and that's
That
who
makes
she
sense.
is.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I thought they all had specific
Elemental
See, that's
stuff,
what I'm
yeah.
saying.
because that would make sense based on them being four.
There's nothing unique about them besides their personally being unique, but as far as their power, it's the same power split 4 ways.
To be fair, all we saw from Raven was her bring a storm in, right?
Raven used ice, didn't she?
I
I'm
don't
pretty sure that
remember.
I
in her
don't
fight
remember.
against Cinder, I'm trying to remember what.
I don't know.
I have
think-
not
thought
watched
she
that
just
Yeah.
since we watched
even,
it.
the first time you see her use any sort of ice is whenever she deflects Ironwood's super green cannon.
Talking about Raven.
Oh, you're talking about Raven.
Yeah, she does because she freezes Cinder's ass
Yeah,
when she falls at the end of the fight.
Okay, so they
Yeah.
all just
Yeah.
have elemental
Oh, yeah.
powers. Okay,
Right
that
on.
makes more sense. See, yeah, I always had the
I always-
connotation
yeah.
of
I was-
Winter. Okay, she has ice storm powers.
Right.
That makes sense, but
Yeah. And then Cinder
Right.
just used fire because she's fucking
Yeah.
Cinder. Okay,
Exactly.
got it.
Curious.
Which we haven't seen her use anything else, have we?
No.
no.
She's got a mental block of some sort, if that's the case.
Well, obviously
course
she's just
she
partial to
does.
fire because
Right.
she wants to burn stuff.
Burn, death.
Name is Cinder,
murder,
you know.
Burn, death, murder, murder, murder.
Speaking of, she just set everything on fire down in Atlas and Mantle.
I used it to make more
Yeah.
make more flames.
Get.
Oh, poor Watt.
We're moving. Okay.
We'll get.
Oh, I don't know about poor Watts.
Oh man.
As she said, he deserved this.
Right.
Oh,
We'll get
But
back
we
to
thought
that.
she was being like there was a connotation where you might have thought she was being a
Did
little
we?
bit genuine.
It was too sincere.
Right.
It
Yeah.
seemed like she actually meant it.
Right.
She
And
had
that
a-
means that she wanted him to die the way
Yeah.
he did.
I thought
Yep.
she had a bit of a change up with him and
Well,
understood him a
no,
little more.
Yeah,
or
she
something.
did.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Cinder did develop. She just developed into a more effective villain.
She's
Like,
just like a sociopath.
right.
I have to pee about this.
It was like I said in the chat earlier. More people now in the group have a more personal grudge against her
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
because of her. Jean had to kill Penny, and he almost he watched
Oh,
her go twice.
man.
She killed Pyrrha.
I thought we were gonna wait to get to this.
Oh, my good golden retriever boy. Oh no. I'm so upset. That's gonna.
Yeah. There's a lot of other things, but yeah, we can go ahead and talk about talk about Penny. Jean, you poor boy.
Oh my God, he
man.
pulled it
And he
out
fucking did it
and looked at
too.
himself. Yeah.
Like, didn't seem like he hesitated at all either. After like having the confirmation of like, no, this is let me fucking choose one thing. Let me choose one thing here. Like,
I mean, he knew what he had to do.
yeah.
The whole
Tearing up.
yeah.
That's the hardest thing maybe anybody's had to do in this whole fucking series.
Yeah, I mean it's one thing and a testament of courage itself to throw your own life down, but to have to like sacrifice somebody else, like that's the hardest thing to do.
By your own hand.
And by your own hand, like that. I can't think of anything more gut wrenching for Jean to do, and I think that this. I'm really starting to see the pattern laid out that's going to lead to what we assume is going to be Jean's conclusion based on who he is.
They could not have picked another character for it to have been any more diametrically opposite to what they are all about. His whole thing is protection and leadership.
And I can just see after another one of these, Jean just being like, no, for the love of God, RWBY, let me take the fall on this. I can't watch someone else die. I can't I can't stand aside. I can't have to make that call in the heat of battle where there's no other option.
Did anybody see Good Boy Falling coming? Because I fucking didn't.
Jean?
Yeah.
Well, see, the thing about Jean falling is it...
I called it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. I said he was either going to die or fall into the pit with him.
Well, I think it makes sense because they're obviously going to go through some really rough shit down there. Whatever it is, it's going to be life-changing.
Testament.
RWBY doesn't need the trauma of what happened to Penny to wait on her when she gets out of there. That needs to happen. She needs to find out about that in there, and I think Jean having to tell RWBY about that is going to be probably the most interesting thing about next volume.
Yeah.
Is him struggling to find the way to tell her about that, because that's not going to be easy.
Gosh. And it's kind of the flip side of what Ironwood was saying to Winter. Like, he was saying, I sacrificed everything, and Winter's like, no, you sacrificed everyone else.
Right.
Whereas Jean is literally making a sacrifice of his own emotional being and of this person that he's developed a very deep friendship with.
Mm-hmm.
And, it shows that just because you're in a position of power and leadership and you are capable of making these decisions that involve other people's, life and death, doesn't mean that inherently those decisions are easy to make or that they reflect equivalently upon your person.
Yeah. It's just the blood too. That's the first blood we've seen in a good while, isn't it?
Yeah.
He took out his sword and looked in it.
Yeah.
And I just in my head I was just he's thinking of Pyrrha, isn't he? And I don't know if he was or not, but that's all I could think about.
That's the funny thing. That sword was tipped with the metal from Pyrrha's weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
think it ran all the way through.
Yeah. So technically Pyrrha got to kill Penny twice, but
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
power couple move right there.
And also, I mean, and it being the thing that killed the Winter Maiden as well.
Yeah.
Which was the power that she was supposed to get.
Well,
right?
Fall Maiden.
Maiden. I mean, it killing the power of a maiden.
Yeah.
Her being somebody who was supposed to get the power.
Right.
Man.
Gosh.
I thought it was over when she got her with the claws. I thought she already had it for a second there, and I was like, and I was okay.
Yeah.
Whew, because she has both things. Oh, God. She's just dipping at this point. Which she didn't immediately. But by the way, how the fuck did Neo come back?
Right. Yeah.
She got thrown through. There's only one portal that leads to Vacuo. That closes behind them. All the other portals lead back to Atlas, and those are open ended.
I had that exact
That
same
fucking
thought.
that fucking freaked me out. I was like, how the fuck did she come back? How
Right.
the fuck did she come back?
Right. No, I was asking that in my head throughout the whole time, and then
You were asking it out loud the whole time.
Out loud in your head.
It's like, how the fuck did Neo do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when she went through, I was like, she's gone. Awesome.
Right.
We
That-
just landed
that
on
settles
we
that.
know nothing about Neo.
Yeah, that was part of my. That was what I was thinking. Was like,
I
does Neo
tried-
have some kind of fucking weird power that lets
Yeah.
her do this?
I thought, yeah, that's
But
where I
no, you're
landed,
right,
and
the
then I was like,
mantle
did
thing.
she shapeshift to a shape that would let her just like bend around the portal and then come out on the other side? You know,
The
like-
wording was one-way ticket to Vacuo.
Yeah.
yeah,
So it's not one way into the central location. It's
Yeah.
only one way into Vacuo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Man, fuck.
fucking
It did
shit.
fuck me up though.
Yeah.
for sure.
No, because when I saw it, I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And then she came back like, "What the fuck?" It's like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the
Right. Yeah.
goddamn
Only
doors."
the one portal leads to Vacuo.
Yeah, I was
That makes
like,
sense.
okay, she's out of the picture. It'll get easier now. Like, we'll be able to maybe make it through without nobody dying.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope, nope,
God.
nope.
And the way she was fighting Ruby, it was like,
She was playing with her.
right. She didn't even dodge whenever
Right.
Ruby
Well-
swung over her head.
Well,
Mm.
first of all, Neo's a way better fighter than Ruby,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and also she has a huge advantage in her tactical style over Ruby.
Yeah.
That fucking giant ass scythe is garbage against Neo.
Yeah.
Like,
A tiny umbrella that has
Mhm.
like a giant tip at the end.
Yeah, 'cause
Like-
she has to either shoot the scythe or swing it.
right?
And that's a severe detriment in close quarters combat
Yeah,
with somebody who has like a sharp, pointy thing that's
yeah.
you know
And
short
has-
enough that
and
you
has
could stab
speed
somebody with it. Yeah.
and not nobility. Nimbleness.
Yeah.
Nimbility.
Almost got her though.
Yeah. No, if
Mm.
That was a
if
good. That
if
was a good
Cinder
fake out.
hadn't come in with that pot shot at the end there, then Ruby would have had her in that.
That was a
Yeah.
super good fake out.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck. It was almost Neo going down there with him. That would have been interesting.
God.
Neo went down there with him.
She did go down there with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I meant just Neo and the two that were. Well, was it two at that point?
No, because it was
Did-
just Yang. Ruby and Blake fell together.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
And then White
it
spell
would have
after.
been. I was with it of just being Neo and Yang.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been like, do they kill each other at this point, or do they figure it out together? And like a Nebula Stark situation, kind of.
You don't think that Yang would look at her and just be like, "You want to murder my sister?"
I don't know, man. Anime's weird.
The one thing that I knew was going to happen this episode was they were all going to fall.
Yeah.
For
Like-
sure.
Oh, we were watching the theme song, and I never realized in the light after they fall, it was the staff of creation. I just saw light
Mm-hmm.
because my eyes don't perceive light very well. So, like, whenever I saw it, I was just like, "Oh, fuck!" Great symbolism.
Yeah,
Mm.
man. The intro this season really gave it all away.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Like,
And you didn't notice until you hit it, and it was just like
Right.
you watch it again, and it's like, oh.
it's like, oh no, they really do fall. The last thing you see is a shot of Crescent Rose
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
in the pose. Like, it's all right there.
Yep.
It's kind of like in Volume 5 when you see like giant Salem at the end of the OP, and everyone's like, well, they're not actually going to do giant Salem, and
Yeah.
then they do.
They did
Right.
Giant Sailor.
Yeah. They're all about calling their shots.
Yeah.
You know what the show's about, but it's just like, okay, which direction are we going to go with that?
Right. Jumping back, we'll get back to the Penny Winter thing because there's still a lot to go there. So first of all, I don't think that Crow's semblance is misfortune.
Oh, after we saw the thing?
I think that Crow and Clover both have the same semblance, and it's probability.
Ah.
Luck is entirely a matter of perspective.
Perception.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like-
Crow's like a negative alcoholic that
Exactly.
has lost most of the things in his life. So
Cro-
of course he's pessimistic. He would see his probability as negative.
Exactly. He was
God,
like,
yeah, because he really
Yeah.
did stare at that and go,
yeah.
and fucking it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
either by proxy or by actuality.
Right.
Like,
Because you could interpret that as either bad luck on Harriet's part or good luck on Crow's part.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's always either side of it. It's just like depending. Yeah, it's entirely perspective.
Yeah. And yeah, as you said, he's fucking recovering alcoholic, depressed. He was raised by bandits and probably like was taught that his semblance was a detriment and wasn't taught to. I mean, there have been times throughout the show where good things have happened by chance around Crow, and that he never acknowledges it.
Yeah.
Like he always only acknowledges it from the perspective of bad luck. But I think that Clover taught him to see it from a different point of view, and I think that we're gonna get more development. I hope we get some, whatever, I guess, Crow, Robin, Elm, Harriet, and Good Boy together next volume and get to see some of Crow develop, especially as like he's trying to, because he thinks they're dead. He thinks his nieces are dead right now,
Oh
so
my
he's
God,
gonna
his
have to like,
scream.
yeah, that silent scream
rough.
was
Yeah.
oof.
So rough.
So I hope we get some development with that and get to see his semblance develop into something that's not
Yeah.
like a life-ruining thing for him, because I think there's more to it than what he's always assumed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you know what? The semblances start. Is it like you're born with it, but does it kick in at like puberty? Do we know?
It's different for different people.
Yeah,
Like,
because John didn't get his until
right, and then Ren in the flashback in Volume 4,
very tiny.
very tiny, he got his.
So
yeah,
Crow probably got his at an early age then. And with everything that it was going through, that would make sense that it would show up in negative consequences and how everyone blamed it on like bad luck.
his is also passive, so I'm not entirely sure how like those work and when they show up. Like if they're just
Yeah.
always there. Like spoiler alert, but there is a character in I think it's actually one of the characters on Team Coffee unlocked their semblance in the womb.
Whoa.
Oh, where did you read so much about? Oh, is it that
in the books. Yeah.
Yeah, the one with her face on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh. I tell you what, the Vine, I'd like to talk about that while we're
Yeah.
still in the airship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much where we're at.
I think this is his only chance at doing right by the ills that he had caused up until
Mhm.
then. Because it's one thing to acknowledge that you've done wrong in the past and to try to learn and change, but it's another thing entirely to just like put your money where your mouth is and do the thing that needs to be done.
I'm the
Mhm.
fucking only one that can do this.
Yeah.
Right now,
Yeah.
where we
Right.
are right now, I'm the only one.
Yeah. Like,
He knew and he accepted it immediately because like you could tell the moment he pitched it, like he thought, and it was immediate. He was like, "This is what's happening." It didn't like he
Yeah,
wasn't
there was-
hesitant.
right.
There wasn't time for hesitance.
Exactly.
I do love though like the look that Crow gives him, because
Yeah.
it's just like there's not even like a nod or anything. It's
Right.
just he just looks over to him and just like, all right, and then
Yeah.
just dips off bird style.
It's like, you mean nothing to me. I think that like this is why people who like self-sacrifice are seen as like being in heaven,
Mhm.
because now when we consider Vine, the only thing we can think about his like the totality of his life is that it's all defined by that one moment at the very end
Yeah.
where he made the ultimate sacrifice and gave up an entire future and anything that could happen in like to him, or any joys or sorrows or like anything that could potentially have occurred in his life beyond that
Yeah.
was worth less to him than the security of his friends.
Jesus, dude, can we fucking talk about how goddamn powerful his shit was, though?
Yeah, Vine was
Yeah.
like
Oh
they were
my
all the
God.
Aesops are like fucking OP.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Harriet was holding her own with beat him.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
yeah.
They're both. I mean, they're both professionals, and Crow's not in his prime by any means.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that like she won, you know.
Yeah, for
She's
sure.
capable of beating Crow. And
I also, getting back to the bad luck thing, I also can imagine that Crow was probably like considering his steps around
Yeah,
the bomb.
didn't
He's
wanna
like,
blow shit
I'm
up.
gonna like fuck this up and
Well, Harry didn't
blow
want
us.
to die either, so
Right.
she was probably holding. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
essentially, she could have probably been holding back too.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because of that, that would
I feel like Crow was more conscientious in the fight though,
probably.
Yeah.
to be holding back.
Harriet's been
She
freaking out for
angry.
a while.
Mad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just let me do my fucking job. What the hell? What the hell, Harriet? Jesus.
Yeah.
Why
Turn
can't
on
you
the
let
analysis.
Me do my job?
Yeah, turn-
Because we're your friends.
Yeah. And you're trying to nuke people. Friends don't
Yeah.
let friends nuke.
Jesus, I can't even fathom.
I am kind of, it's good, but I am kind of upsetty that Harriet's getting a redemption arc.
I don't know that she is.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
No. I mean, we don't know yet.
I can easily see like this just being them, like they get her right off into the sunset kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Like they learn the error of their ways, and they'll probably show back up in the big fight at the end or something. But I don't think there's really anything. I mean, there's so many characters. We're already split 2 ways going into the next volume. Adding in another whole arc with her and like that whole thing, that feels like too much.
It's
Yeah, well, I just thought they would go to Vacuo as well, and then we would just see them
that's
there.
possible. Yeah.
Maybe. I think
There's going to be a lot of fucking people in Vacuo.
Oh my god, yeah.
I think Harriet and Elm might go off on their own.
Together.
And then Marrow might be
Oh,
drawn
yeah.
to Vacuo.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
Marrow's
Yeah.
definitely gonna
Ooh.
be the one
Wonder what's
at
gonna
least
happen
to
in that
show
time.
up.
Yeah. If
Marrow isn't done.
we
Okay,
see any
I-
more of the
They
Aesops,
have
so
to,
we'll see
they
Marrow.
have to fly there now. So
Now,
there's
I-
a lot of time between.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if we have like 60% of Volume 9 is RWBY and is Drubin in the Jean RWBY Neo in fucking Wonderland, and then 30% is whatever's going on in Vacuo, and then 10% is literally just them in that fucking Atlas ship flying to Vacuo. I could be down with that.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
it's just them just like talking and dealing with shit on a one-on-one basis between the Crow and
Well, that ship's
everything.
not made for that.
I don't know if we would even like spend time with them. Well, I guess we would actually get Crow in the next season, probably, or next volume.
It's a transport ship,
But-
right? It's a dust transport ship.
yeah.
It's not made for that, is it?
I don't know.
I mean, it's probably can go long
that
distances.
long distance, though?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Without a payload, that dramatically increases
Yeah,
the amount
that
of
does.
time that you can travel.
But we will probably get Crow in the next volume. But we don't have to even like be with them while they travel. They could just pop up at the very end.
Right.
Yeah.
So, as we've pointed out before, Rip Crescent Rose. Although surprisingly, RWBY managed to hold her own pretty well after.
Yeah.
Yeah, Crescent Rose fell before.
Just fell.
Yeah.
Who says they're not all following the same
Well, of
place?
course. Yeah, of course they
Yeah.
are.
Like,
I mean, for this fight, for
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
now,
We're still focused on the fight.
as far as in universe perspective,
Yeah, for sure.
fall is death.
yeah.
So
Like that only suited to show that she wasn't going to be able to get back up.
yeah,
That was the trump card. But my thing
Mm.
is, why the fuck didn't she use her semblance? But I guess she has to have momentum or something to be
Yeah.
able to use it.
well, she
Because she used her following.
She did try.
yeah, when she
Right.
knocked Neo off.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
knocked
'cause
her.
yeah,
But she did it. She
right.
did it with the momentum that she already had.
Yeah.
So I guess she has to have momentum
I think so. Yeah,
to get back up, because she's gone upward with it.
right.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't understand. In
Maybe
the
it's the
moment
fact that she
why.
got knocked off while hanging on to Neo.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Speaking of falling though, I love how Weiss falls towards the beginning of the episode, and Blake tells her to get up, and then for the rest of the episode, Weiss does not stay down.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this is not the fucking time. Let's go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And like it was very obvious that Blake wasn't, being mean or anything, which was
Right.
cool.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That jump kick was awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
Blake did,
yes.
yeah.
Weiss fucking that
Weiss using
held
Gamble Shroud.
down.
Yeah.
What?
Weiss using Gamble Shroud.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Oh, was so cool.
She fucking held it the fuck down.
Yeah, she
in
did.
every fight that she came into,
Mhm.
and gave everybody a run for their money
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
whole time between the summons and everything, and she was
Yeah.
managing all that at the same time. We've never seen her fight
Right.
that fucking
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Weiss is incredibly versatile based on her powers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
She's an insanely good support character.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah, definitely.
Like as far as like RPG
Yeah, I
type
get what you're saying.
terminology.
Yeah.
I just meant in general. for
Right.
whoever's-
Yeah.
Did we see Ruby's eyes glow?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she went silver as for a second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whenever Cinder's arm did the thing, right?
Yeah.
I
when-
thought she was gonna use it.
yeah.
I did too.
That
I think she
But-
was probably like
about to.
focusing and trying to, and then
Well, whenever Cinder's arm did the thing, Salem was coming back. So I don't know if it was like
You know,
Salem just being like or
her
eyes
arm
reacting.
did the thing. I think after that.
After? Okay,
yeah, whenever
never mind
she
then.
because it was after Blake and Ruby fell, and it was just Jean, Penny, and
Yeah.
Weiss left in there.
Yeah, you're
and then
right.
It happened.
You're right.
What happened when Ruby fell was Ruby's about to fucking murder Neo. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ruby is
straight up.
straight up just
because
about
as
to
far
just
as they know, they fucking die when they fall. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, I think she was actually gonna like
chink.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Ruby's
then
gotten to the point where with Neo, like it's the end.
yeah,
Like
and then fucking Cinder blasts her and she falls off, and then Cinder grim arm grabs the lamp and is like, you should have never threatened me. And then she tells Ruby, you should have never been born. And that's when you see Ruby's eyes, like the gleam go over them
Yeah.
real quick. And
Okay.
then they
'cause she
fall.
obviously thought of her mom.
Right, and then they fall, and then fucking Penny and Blake do that fucking cool maneuver and catch her, and then Cinder yeeshes
Cuts the
the
line, yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
cuts the line, and they fall. I really hope that like they fall like where they fell, and like I hope that Ruby and Blake are together next,
Yeah.
like they end up together.
Yeah.
Because of all the characters on Team Ruby, all of our mains, I feel like Ruby and Blake, their relationship, their friendship seems the most like honest and genuine. Like of the four of them, those are the two that I would actually see being friends in real life outside of like being comrades in arms. But they actually have like things in common with each
Yeah.
other.
Like they would have been friends even if they weren't on
Right.
a team.
Exactly.
I understand the kind of friendship that Ruby and Weiss have really well too, though.
yeah.
That's
Yeah, but I think if they weren't on a team together, it wouldn't have happened.
Right.
Oh,
The
yeah.
happy core scene
Yeah.
chick and the goth chick saw each other and went, ew. Oh, but there's okay. Okay, I like you. All right.
If that
Like-
is the way that it does work, then Blake and Ruby will be together, and Weiss and Jean will be together.
That's
Ooh.
cool.
Ooh, that
That's
would
a
be
really cool
good.
dynamic.
Yeah. Oh, whenever
Yeah,
John
that'd be
was hitting on
Yeah,
Weiss
Yang
in the
and Neo, yeah.
beginning.
Yeah, that'll be a very good homage to the
Yeah.
beginning of
Mm-hmm.
like
The
Blake.
first episode.
Wasn't it Blake that stood up for Ruby when she
Yeah.
blew up Ice Queen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be a good homage to that, because then it's like that's John and Weiss, and then but where was Yang and all of that?
By
She was off
herself.
hanging out. No,
Yeah.
she was off hanging out with her friends.
Yeah.
So it's a total homage to the beginning.
Yeah.
Right.
Perfect.
And another thing about people falling, if you remember the previous episode, a bunch of other people got knocked
Yeah.
off
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
the bridges. As
Oh.
well. They're gonna be there.
Yeah.
Basically,
Hmm.
we're getting lost. The RWBY series.
Basically, I'm gonna
Would-
assume that if
Hope it
Smoke
doesn't
monster.
insert-
Would
that a
Neo have
bunch of-
fallen near Ruby and Blake?
no, I don't think so.
She fell after?
She
Or
fell.
further away?
She fell before, but she fell in a different spot
Okay.
because they fucking were swinging
How
on a
long do
Yeah.
we
vine.
have to
Okay.
wait for this?
What?
How long do we have to wait for
Isn't it
this?
like
With
a
no-
year?
No, I mean the most will be 6 months. The
Really?
Most, yeah, be October,
yeah.
November.
They do every 6 months.
It is still very long.
Have we thought about the fact that there might be other people that are already there as
Yeah.
well?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
We also don't know like anything about this place. A lot of people are assuming
That-
like Yggdrasil or something like that, like fucking the World Tree kind of thing. And
Yeah.
it might be something they're pulling from, but what
Yeah.
that means in this universe and how they apply those rules, we don't know.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it's very.
At first, I was
interesting.
like, "Is this the island from Kingdom Hearts?"
Yeah.
See, I was kind of thinking like,
I mean,
do we have any characters that are based off of Alice from Alice in Wonderland?
See, I was thinking about that. I feel like that's going to show up at some point.
My first thought was like,
Adam was like the Mad. No, not Adam. Fucking
Torchwick.
Torchwick was kind of Mad.
No, he
Hatter-y,
was
wasn't
Lampwick.
yeah.
he? Oh,
Duh.
does he not have Mad Hatter vibes as well?
He's,
Oh, he totally does.
he
but-
has Clockwork Orange vibes.
Yeah. Oh,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
That describes it better. My first thought when I saw it was weirdly enough like a Studio Ghibli movie, and like my mind was just like, oh, is this like one of the places the gods live or something like that?
Yeah,
What I was
Yeah.
thinking, that was
Yeah.
my first thought as well, was like, is this where the gods are right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
but the gods live in the cosmos. We see them like fly off.
Right.
So,
That
like, I don't
doesn't ever
know.
mean that they're not like,
Yeah.
or what's happening with them, or like
They
if
could
there's
have
like a
avatars
different.
on Earth and still
Yeah.
like exist in
Yeah, I
the
guess you're right.
cosmos.
I mean, that
They just said they're not there. That doesn't mean someone else isn't. Like that has the same level as they are, or that they don't have someone just existing there
Yeah,
for
it is
them.
it is a weird thing that like the highest form of like anywhere near cosmic entity that we have, other than the two that we've seen, has been Salem and Oz.
Right.
Mhm.
And
Well, I mean, they're just
I mean, the
normal
Jonas,
people.
or the
well,
Jonas.
yeah, then
Yeah.
the gens, then the gens. But
Yeah.
I feel I see them. This is gonna sound fucking awful. I see them as objects.
Wow.
I mean, they were
well,
they were
Colin.
fabricated.
Yikes.
Oh yeah, no.
Okay.
So was Penny.
I think you said enough.
Well, yeah.
It's fucking AI
Yeah.
rights over here. I guess Colin's
They
not
were
on
they were
board.
fabricated to be a certain way. Like that was the whole thing. It's
Right.
You're saying
they-
Penny's an object?
she was at one point. Now she's not.
But she wasn't
It
then
has a
either.
No,
soul.
she's always had a soul.
Right.
Do the items have souls?
I don't
That's
know.
a
Do
good,
they?
No,
We don't know.
I feel like there's a better argument for the spirits of the relics not, I mean, having
They were made
limited
for-
autonomy
Yeah.
than Penny.
Yeah.
They follow strict rules
Right.
to their
Yeah.
shit because
Yeah.
that's how they were made.
Right.
Like that's why I'm saying I see them as objects, because they don't have complete autonomy over what they're doing.
In
Neither do any humans.
in RVB in
You
RVB
get the argument
terms,
they're making, though.
they're dumb AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're intelligent, but they can only operate within this set limited parameters that they were designed to operate within.
Yeah, and it's not like they can try to go against it.
Right.
Not from what we've seen, at least, and we don't know what happens if they do. Which I'm wondering if that's what destruction is for. But now that I've said that out loud,
Yeah.
if that is that main process. But God, I can't wait to get to that because I want to know. I want to know what the fuck destruction means.
Where is-
it? Can't just
Vacuo.
be
Okay.
straight up.
Mm.
There's no way.
Right.
It's never straight up. So like, is it like deletion from existence or some shit?
The
like
only
that?
like reference that we've got to presumably the sort of destruction is the World of Remnant about the Great War. And basically it's just like the king pulled out the sword and just wiped out all the armies of the earth. How? What he did? Who knows? He just had a sword and he fucking won and everyone was like, "You're the dude now." And that was
I want Jean to wield the sword.
What would
Oh.
a magic sword do in this universe? That's
well, it's a
really-
magic sword of destruction.
Yeah, it's a very.
So it's a sword,
interesting
so it kills.
question.
Right.
Obviously, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure you could whack somebody with it and it would do some damage.
You could
What if
probably
that's
whack
what
someone
all they
with
do
all
with
of
it?
it. Yeah.
They're just like,
The best analogy I could think of as to how it would be is like the purple stone, the purple infinity stone, the stone of power. How like
Yeah.
it's a weapon and you like all you got to do is just like hit it on the ground and it can probably cause like a nuke, some kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like that.
possibly, but that just seems a little milquetoast from what we've seen so far. Like they could get so much more interesting,
Yeah.
and I think they'll probably push it a little bit. Because if it's just like an OP sword, whenever they
Well, there'll definitely be because with the other three relics, there are very definitive drawbacks to them.
yeah. So yeah, maybe the sword has to like destroy an equal amount of things you don't want it to blow up. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like it could. It's some kind of catch.
It
has
kills
to
the
be
user.
involved. Oh, maybe.
The king went
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
The king went on. like,
Yeah.
to
Oh,
rule
shit.
Because
everything.
he went on to found the 4 kingdoms and
Yeah.
the academies.
Oh,
Maybe it
okay.
destroys the people you love.
Maybe it's
Huh.
like 1 for 1.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
just
Oh yeah.
has,
Yeah, I
like,
still haven't read
balance
the book,
scales or
so
something.
yeah.
Take a
There's
buck,
gotta be a
take a
caveat.
banana.
I don't know if the destruction one would have a monkey's paw like the creation one. I don't know.
It's not necessarily a monkey's paw, just a parameter in
Yeah.
which to exist. Because like with the lamp, there's very specific rules to it and limitations to what you can do.
Same with with
Wait,
the
with
crown
the
and the
lamp?
staff.
You can ask 3 questions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
but
that's
Every
every
has
100
3
years.
question
That's a
every
specific
100
rule
years.
and parameter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're just saying that every one of them is probably going to have a specific rule. Like for the creation one, not only did he have the specific rules of following exactly what you say, but there can only be one creation at a time.
Right.
So there's always a limitation and a drawback. So what's a limitation and a drawback to a sword of destruction?
Right.
Like
If you can only have 3 wishes every 100 years,
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't mean you rack them up if you don't use it for like 200 years.
Well, that's a question that has been brought up. Is it when does it reset? Like, is it
Yeah.
one question for the 20th century, and like it resets on like on
Yeah, on God's
on December
Salem's birthday.
on January 1st, 2000, or is it after when the first question is asked, that's the beginning of the century, or when it's the third question, then you have to wait an entire century after that?
And when's the last time it reset?
Exactly.
Yeah.
When, like, how long is it going to be until we
Do
can ask
do we know
questions
that?
again?
No.
All we know is,
The third question's been used.
yeah, all we know is way back in a previous incarnation, Oz used all three questions at once, and we don't know, and we know it's been used twice since then. We don't know how other many times. We just know in the last century it's been, well, I guess now 3 times because of Cinder.
But we don't know.
We don't
if
know-
It resets when.
Right.
Man, if the time starts when all 3 questions were asked, that would suck.
Yeah,
Mm.
but if it's the
We
first
als-
one, then we could be any time. Who knows?
Yeah.
We also don't know if it was truly only were we told there was specifically only 2 more that could be asked whenever Ruby did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were? Okay.
You can only ask 3 questions. 1 has already been asked. Is
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
think
Yeah, that's-
basically the layman of what she said.
Yeah, she said, "You're in luck. You still have 2 questions left for this century, or whatever."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
But yeah, we need to talk about Penny and Winter and the thematics of this whole arc, because this whole thing, this whole like Atlas saga has ultimately been about choice. And the lesson with Penny and Winter is that your humanity has nothing to do with nuts and bolts or squishy guts. Like that's secondary. What made Penny and Winter a real girl. What are you doing? Okay. What made Penny and Winter bastards a real girl was choosing their own paths. Like was choosing to make their own destiny.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
Penny
I think
also chose her own demise,
yeah.
which I think is a very like
beautiful.
specific type of like that's a question with agency people often have is like how much control should you really have over like the continuation of your own life? Because some people perceive life as just like an outward experience, like it's not something that you own, it's something you experience.
Right.
And to kill yourself is kind of like it's what people consider a sin, you know. Like,
Yeah.
But when Penny decided to end her own life, it was to give of herself
Mm-hmm.
and to actually continue on her existence in the most like powerful way possible.
And we'll get to that in a second. But I feel like there was no other option in that moment for Penny. Like she was going to die.
yeah.
Well, she could have gotten healed. Jean could have healed her.
Jean, there was no way.
Not to be
I mean,
reductive, but
she-
it is in the face of imminent demise that she did that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like there wasn't enough.
Weiss would've
Not in
died.
that situation.
I mean, they could have run through the gate and then just done that. But like,
I think that Cinder could have stopped him. Like I don't think that
it was.
they could have.
It wasn't an option because of who they are. But I think it was definitely on the table that they could have done that. And Penny was like, "No, there's no time. We can't do that."
Weiss was like getting the shit kicked out of her.
Yeah.
Right. But I
So,
mean,
like-
Jean could have just like stood up and like punted himself. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
I think that at that point, with it just being the 3 of them, their auras being depleted and everything going against them, it was an inevitability that without doing that, Cinder was going to get the power. I don't think that there was a way, especially considering from their perspective that falling means death, I don't think there was a way that Penny was getting out of that situation alive
Yeah.
from
Also-
their perspective.
Just as a note, Shield Bash McGee over there, fucking, I have never seen him fight that confidently.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
There was
no.
no
Yeah.
faltering,
He just
there
had
was
to.
no weeble wobble, there was nothing. He was
Mhm.
on his shit.
He just
Yeah.
had to murder his friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, he's gonna like beat the fuck out of
like-
the
He
girl.
he took that
Then-
remarkably well too. Like, I mean, obviously he was emotional about it, but he wasn't like, sobbing a wreck about it. He was just like, this has to happen. Like,
Yeah.
It was a pretty sobby
He-
wreck. Like,
he, like,
I mean, he wasn't
tears-
like sobbing. He was crying.
Like broken. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, broken down, unable to
Move?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Shit. I get. Yeah.
I mean,
Fucking-
Yeah, Blake's gay. So
what?
It's like the episode. Oh my god. Fucking. No, just his every time that he came in with a fucking haymaker,
Mhm.
it surprised me every time for some reason, because I just don't see, like, it's not who I think is going to come. Like when we got the flying head kick by Blake,
Yeah.
you expect that shit. But
Yeah.
when it's fucking him flying like his shield like a kite and then bashing the shit out
Yeah.
of somebody,
right.
it hits hard.
Yeah.
I think he switched from like he was upset. He just had to do that. He's crying. Tears are going on the ground, full of anger.
Oh yeah, like
Like-
we've seen this kind of thing from Jean before. Whenever during the Battle of Haven, whenever Cinder
And
ran
now he knows
through
his
ran
shit.
through Wise and he lost his shit. Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
he knows his shit.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
Well as losing his shit instead of being like I said earlier, weeble wobble and like
Yeah.
a little bit off his footing and shit like that the entire time. Like he was, and when they all land, the three of them at the same time and fucking are there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
what
god.
a power stance with three
Yes.
characters.
That was like-
just didn't see coming from the beginning,
Right.
being the
Yeah.
people.
It's like, I know all three of you are getting your fucking ass kicked, but you look so fucking cool right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to Penny. The thing with like her not having any other option on the table, and her like that being the only way that she knows she's gonna die. It's the only way that she can possibly turn that death into somewhat of a victory or an advantage. Like to take control of your life and your destiny at that moment is like such a like good fulfillment of character. And yeah, it would have been nice to see more Penny, but honestly, what's a better resolution to her character, to do that or like her learn how to shit,
Yeah.
you know?
Right. Yeah.
Like
Oh, man.
people get hung up on Penny. We talked about this a little bit in the pre-show. People get hung up on Penny, like on her humanity and her like she just became a person. No,
Well,
she's
no, she always was.
right.
Yeah.
This was just like the fulfillment of just like the outer reflecting the inner
And-
as her story like completes. But we've had her like never thought we'd get her back, and then we've had her for
Yeah.
2 volumes, and her is basically the protagonist of the last volume.
And like plot device wise, now she definitely can't come back.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's a definitive death instead of like
And
being a robot.
She got
Right.
what she truly wanted. She was like fully human. Like
Right.
she got what she wanted and she was happy.
She got
and
to
she
hug her
knew-
friends before she died.
She
Holy
did.
fuck.
And she got what she got what she wanted, not just in having red blood instead of green, but in getting to make that one decision for herself. I mean, it kept Cinder from getting a complete victory. Like
Yeah.
it's not much, pretty
This would
negligible.
sound insane out of context, but I didn't know that I needed to see her bleed. That was like
Yeah.
fucking powerful. Between
Yeah.
seeing her with the green ooze coming out of her
Mhm.
and then
Yeah.
seeing her actual blood. The fact that those two scenes are now very connected in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for
is-
sure.
Is not unintentional. There's no is not is not unintentional, I'm sure.
Do you want to talk about the midway with like
Yeah, so
Okay.
so Penny said something in that I'm a little about the last things that she said when she's like, when you're gone, I won't be gone, I'll be a part of you. Until we hear Penny in Winter's head, I'm going to assume that she means that in just the generic
Yeah.
sense
I'll
because
always
That,
be in your
yeah,
heart.
Her actions
Yes.
will have affected your life
Right.
also.
because the idea that the maidens operate in the same way as Ozpin presents some really problematic
I don't
complications.
think
Yeah.
it's an avatar like
I don't
No.
think so either.
Because wouldn't Cinder have what's her name's?
Right? Yeah, because like what? Because
Amber?
they're because
Yeah.
the ones that are just like random, or it's the person that is
Yeah.
like that killed you, so the last person that you think of
Right.
and everything.
Well, it also might be a
Nail.
situation of like what you're talking about. Wouldn't Cinder have Amber? But like maybe it's a thing of like would Amber have helped Cinder in life?
Right.
But she would have hindered her if she could.
But I
That's
mean,
well, I'm saying
Hindered
like
Cinder.
what maybe she is. Maybe that is the reason that Cinder has only used fire. Maybe she can't figure out the other shit.
I think she's just too full of rage.
yeah.
That might be the case. I'm just saying as a
Like,
posit.
she has shown several times that she's willing to burn shit down before she even got her fire powers. Like,
Yep.
this bitch doesn't care.
Yeah.
For sure. But like to not tactically use other things.
I wonder
as
if she
well.
even knows.
That's like the big thing of like how do you figure it out? So that might
Right.
be a good posit. Maybe they do have some of the knowledge of the past maidens at some point that
I
they
did-
unlock. Because I mean,
I just think it makes things like more complicated because like with Oz, there's a central point.
Yeah.
There's Ozma that has been going on through
who teaches
generations,
you to be a
but
maiden?
what?
Who teaches the maidens to be maidens?
Right? Who like does like do the maidens all have like the subconscious of the original four sisters buried in them, or like how does all that?
Winter had that shit unlocked pretty quick.
Yeah.
Well, see,
Oh, Winter has been trained for years. Was
To
like number
be
two
the
under.
maiden.
Yes.
Yeah.
She has specifically had training to be the maiden.
To have that
She was
much minute
super
control
angry.
Immediately.
Yeah, she's been.
I think
she
at
was
some level you can
raised
intuit
for
it.
that.
Yeah.
I don't think that like I think it's a power that is like self-evident within you. I don't think it's necessarily that like you intellectualize it. I think it's just that like when you have it, you have it.
She was.
His reaction.
She was bred for that. Like that was basically like she her
Right.
entire
I thought
life.
she'd be able to do it. I didn't think that she'd be head to head with Cinder quite hand.
Well, I think
Oh.
that if you take away the maiden powers, Winter walks all the
wipe the fucking floor with her.
right.
Yeah.
And again, as you're pointing out, Cinder not being a part of the Ozluminati doesn't have proper training in being a maiden. She's just learned things herself. Whereas Winter at least has been like taught and has been trained like this is what your powers are, blah 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 blah. So it makes sense that they would at least be on even keel
Yeah.
of one of them being trained and never having used the powers before, and one having experience but
So
no
my-
proper
My
training.
question is, who taught her about the powers then? Because would it have been Oz? Did they spend a lot of?
No,
well,
I
I
would
mean,
ass-
they trained Pyrrha as
I did-
well.
Yeah, and I
to do
assume
it, so
I
it-
assume Ironwood, because Ironwood
Yeah.
had told her that he was
Well, Pyrrha was
He had
on her way
handpicked.
to being trained. She
Right.
wasn't supposed to take the power at that time. It was only because the power was in danger that she.
Yeah, no,
Right.
but she had
tried to
already
figure it
gone through
out.
some of the training. Like she was specifically there at Beacon because she was doing the
Well,
training.
I'm just
When-
wondering who is training somebody how to use magic, unless it is how you say, Nolan, and just like completely intuitive
I'm not saying it's completely intuitive. I
Or-
think it's just like it.
at a certain degree intuitive.
Yeah.
I
I
feel
feel
like
self-evident. It's not necessarily something you'd master immediately, but you would just like know that it's
Right.
there.
I feel like Ironwood would have been familiar enough with Freya and the maidens in general
Yeah.
to know
Yeah.
like here's what you're
I didn't think
capable
about
of.
that. She wasn't she was a moving alive person at one point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, probably like a combination of Ironwood, Oz, maybe Good Witch. Like all of them have been around that stuff long enough to like know, so they probably had a
Yeah.
combination in it. And part of me feels like even with the huntsman training, like they incorporated some small stuff into that to like help
Yeah.
their
But speaking of Winter, I don't know another word to use for her fucking Winter maiden moment than just fucking holy.
yeah.
Like I was in awe.
She has the I'm an idiot. She has the perfect fucking training with her semblance for manifestation. So
Right.
why wouldn't magic just come to her
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
Yeah.
immediately? That totally makes sense.
That's why I said she was
proved my own
bred.
arguments wrong.
That's
Sorry.
why I said she was bred for this.
Yeah, I get you
Like-
on that. I just didn't make that connection
Okay.
of how her semblance fucking worked. My bad. Fucking-
I don't.
I thought she was genuinely dead for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she has her little moment in the world between worlds with Penny, and then Ironwood's like, so the destiny I've chosen for you has arrived. You chose nothing. This was a
Oh.
gift.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and then that just epic
sweet.
score with the fucking so good.
Mm.
So fucking good. And
Yes.
Winter's always been so composed. So to see her just pure like fire of righteous anger
Yeah.
in her fight against Cinder was it was so good.
With like the tears as well streaming
Mhm.
down her face.
Oh, when Weiss
Yes.
fell.
Oh,
I knew
and
it-
then when she saw her family
Yeah.
for the first time, also she was probably like happy they made it because for all she knew, they were still
Yeah,
in the mansion.
They probably put a portal to the mansion.
probably.
That makes
Well, I
sense.
think didn't they go to like one of the safe houses or something? I didn't think they stayed there, but we hadn't seen them since like the gang left, so
Yeah.
I just assumed they went somewhere safe.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Odd, weird, small point. Every single time you see a liquid drop on the ground in this episode, it's always in threes. Every
That's
time.
cool.
Blood and water. It's always in threes.
Hmm.
But no, she was probably like upset because Weiss
Blood
fell.
and tears.
Yeah,
She saw her family, who she didn't know was still alive.
right.
And then she was like, probably, I have to tell them,
Yeah,
oh shit, we're in a sandstorm.
Yeah. Oh man, God, I can't. Wait, I can't wait for that opener. Anyway, I was waiting for it. Anyway, that the resolution of Winter coming through, being full of how much anger she is right
Yeah.
now.
Yes.
I want to see her rip apart some fucking Grim.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
It's gonna be so good. She's just gonna. Nobody else is needed right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Or I was
no,
like,
no.
well, maybe Team Sun will show up for coffee, or maybe the Summer Maiden. Nope, Winter's just gonna bust
Yeah.
through that fucking gate
Yeah.
and just own some bitches.
It's like wait, that was literally Thor's landing in fucking.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
I thought-
you guys are fucked.
I thought we were gonna see her like blow the sandstorm away, like
I did
triumphantly,
too.
right before the fight started. But you
I-
know, well, I'm sure we'll get that moment.
Yeah.
I kind of thought she was going to go Super Saiyan, if I'm being honest, and like destroy it all.
I mean, that's Yang's thing.
Speaking
That
of,
do
Shit,
be
which we did
true.
Right?
yeah,
Yeah, we didn't see Yang.
We saw
Shit.
a little bit of. This is the first time in a while we've seen Super Saiyan Yang.
Yeah.
She didn't go full, but
That's true.
she
Uh-huh.
went. There was definitely glow to her hair. and
Yeah.
Oh,
eyes changing.
100%.
yeah,
Fucking, we hadn't seen that in a while. I didn't go back and watch and see how many times she had been hit though,
right.
because
Mm.
it didn't seem like it went full.
I just imagine Yang unlocking her semblance in the womb. Maybe that's why Raven left.
Rage.
Oh no! Oh no!
God.
Speaking of, though, we are now back on track to 3/4 of
Yep.
Ruby Maiden.
Yep.
Yeah.
The only thing that's left is how is the Summer Maiden going to connect to Blake? And if it's who I think it is, then it's going to be pretty easy.
Ilya?
No.
Blake's mom, is that?
No. Sun has a cousin named Star
Oh.
that shows up in Before the Dawn, and she doesn't do much, but she's given a lot of like narrative focus for a character that's like tertiary. It's like it seems like they're setting her up to be someone to pay attention to, but they don't want to give away too many like important things about her in the book.
My first thought was actually Sun, even though like I know he's not a maiden. Whatever. Sun is who he is. Let him believe whatever he fucking wants. But that would be interesting because I do want her and Sun to have like a really good connection, but I also don't want it to be weird the fact that like, Sun obviously is like DTF for Blake.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Seems
but
Down to French.
I don't know. I don't think that.
Down to fondue.
I think he's like, it'll be fine. They'll have a good friendship and
Always
everything.
Well, I don't
the
necessarily
case.
think that
Give me that
Yang and
shit.
Blake necessarily have to be in game, though.
Yeah. That is true.
Like, I don't. Blake definitely has a connection and relationship with Sun, and it's only with Sun removed from the situation that there's been any room for
Blake,
Bumblebee
yeah.
to develop. So you introduce
Mm.
Sun back into that, and who knows what happens. But I do think that obviously they're going to be important to each other, and so if that is just an easy way to connect it to Blake, because it's like You can make an argument that maybe Cinder would think of somebody else, but I honestly don't think she would think of anybody but RWBY. But Winter and Raven are definitely going to think of Weiss and Yang when they die. Like that's just too easy of a tee off.
Yeah, who would Raven think of other than that?
Where the fuck is
but
Raven?
we don't know shit about Raven,
She's
really.
with Ty.
Like, we don't know
The-
enough about Raven's actual, like, day-to-day.
The last we saw, she was with Ty, but it could just be that she had to portal somewhere, and that was just an easy spot to just
Might as well get some dick while you're here.
might as well get some dick,
Yeah.
and
I
then
still see that as being a viable resolution to this.
not anymore
Why is that?
because Cinder fucking closed the gates.
Yeah, but wherever they are.
Yeah, it doesn't. We don't know if it moves between realms or not. Like, I don't know if her.
I
I still
'Cause
see it as
her-
being viable until we figure out that she can't do it.
I'm going to just assume she can't until we have reason to believe that she can, considering the mechanics of this place and everything.
That just feels too easy.
It definitely feels too easy.
Well,
I want to like what?
I mean,
I feel like the problem is going to be finding them. Or not finding them, finding the weight to get
Back.
them out.
because then
I think it's
maybe she can't get out.
yeah,
finding
Ty.
finding their way back. Because if someone else rescues them, that's superfluous. It needs
Yeah.
to be them escaping.
right.
Talking about the portals earlier, now that Salem has a staff of curation, could she not easily just make a portal to the other whatchamacallits? The
If
other
she kno-
relics?
She has to
Uh,
know specifics about where they are.
Right.
And
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof and
Remember,
oof.
he's like, give me coordinates, and they're like, we got attacked once.
yeah.
Like, you have to be as specific as possible. Surely she knows that, right?
Yeah.
Or
You should
maybe.
probably tell her.
That's fair. Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
she
he does
doesn't
say
have
that.
outside of figuring out where the beacon relic is, which, Cinder fucked her over on that, but at least the easy way to find it. She doesn't have any real use for the relics themselves. Just like she has no use for a maiden except for unlocking the vault.
Yeah.
She wants the relic so she can call the gods and, rain down judgment and all of that. So she doesn't care what the fucking staff can do or anything like that. That's not necessarily what Salem is interested in. She just wants the relics because she needs to collect all 4 relics to complete her goals.
Gotta catch 'em all.
How long did you say this had taken place over? Like a couple of days,
Yeah.
right? This whole thing?
This, yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, been a rough couple
Dense
couple of days. So yeah, Watts is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're getting
Probably.
into the
Just like
end
we
there.
just see.
Most likely.
Yeah, no, that was pretty fucking sick.
Yeah, just bashing
Yeah.
against the window. And she just laughs and was like, I created more fire.
Yeah. Go ahead.
My thought in that moment was, I thought they killed him. Oh, that's Watts. I thought Ironwood killed it. Oh, that's Watts.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love how like Cinder is just going over everything to Salem. And this entire time for the last 2 volumes, Oz has been playing this, or not Oz, Ironwood has been playing this chess game thinking that he's playing against Salem, when the entire time it's been Cinder. Like the entire time, like the actual like opposition he's been against is Cinder, and Salem doesn't even acknowledge him.
Just
Yeah.
checkmate.
Right, Salem is just walking past, didn't even look at him. Ironwood is just on the ground, like defeated. Can't even muster the strength to shoot Cinder. And if you want to show a man defeated, like that is just so
Yeah.
good. And yeah, the name of the episode after an entire season of single word titles was The Final Word, and the final word spoken audibly in the episode was
Checkmate.
and just so good because Ironwood
Just like
got
chef's kiss.
yeah, Ironwood got played so hard in these last 2 volumes, and it's just
It's one of the ways you lose a chess game, most assuredly, too, is you pick a strategy, and no matter what happens, you stick to it.
Yep.
So, like, that's like the number one way to lose a fucking chess match.
So yeah, like I I probably cried more this episode than I have in a long time in RWBY. And I love that.
I only welled up. I didn't get all the way there, but I think just because I was already so emotionally spent from other stuff.
I welled up the first time. The second time, Penny got me. The second time, it broke me.
Goose was in tears. Goose was in shambles.
Whenever they were in the midpoint and they were talking, and then I see Winter come back with the powers, I was like starting to tear up. I was like getting ugly snot. And then like she comes back and I was just like, yeah!
Seeing Penny like rock back and forth on the heels and pads
Oh
of her
my
feet
god, yes.
in the like after, it was just kind of fucking
Salutations.
God.
Too good.
Too good. I thought we
And
were in
Winter's just like, fucking no. No.
yeah.
God damn it. You were the best of us. No, you can't.
I do love the show creators being like, "Oh yeah, you'll love some Penny, don't you? Oh yeah, you'll love some Penny. Oh, Penny died. Oh no. Oh, but you'll love some Penny, don't you? Oh, Penny's back. Isn't that great? Oh, Penny's so great. She's back in the truth. Oh, y'all love Penny so much. She'll be the protagonist of this whole fucking season. Oh, you'll love some Penny. Don't? Oh, she's a real good girl now. She's a real girl. She's got no strings. Oh, what a good. Oh. Oh.
And then in the last moment, but you guys do love Penny.
Y'all love some Penny, don't you?
But she'll always be a part of Winter. You'll never hear her again, never see her again, but she's always there.
Yep.
Yeah, no, fantastic volume. And while there was definitely a cliffhanger, I felt a weird sense of resolution with this one. Like, I'm definitely excited about what happens next, particularly with Team RWBY. But I felt like we got like a really good close. I mean, there's nothing more definitive than Atlas falling.
Yeah.
And I don't know how like we never made that connection of Atlas.
Yeah.
The city suspended by its technology falls into the ocean and sinks.
This is
Castle in the Sky.
Literally Atlantis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my they have finally reached my favorite part in every expansive RPG. The Middle Eastern aesthetic or desert aesthetic or whatever town of every RPG that I ever play is my favorite area to go and do. And it's usually like mid late into the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're playing a game with an airship,
Yeah.
you're definitely going to end up in...
Wouldn't you say that like Mistral
desert.
was more of the Asian aesthetic?
I said Middle East.
Oh, Middle East. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Not
Yeah.
Eastern, not Orient.
Yeah, okay.
Well, is Orient?
Yeah, Orient.
still
Yeah, Orient is what. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
But
I don't know how people
neither
feel.
do I. Okay.
I
you
think
get what
I don't think you
mean.
can refer to a person as Oriental.
Yeah, no.
But the Orient.
Orient is
It's just like
okay.
a concept, I
Might-
guess.
all right.
I don't know.
Fucking not that, but like
Yeah.
Sahara.
Yeah.
Fucking Saudi Arabic, Saudi Arab. Blah, whatever. Words shitty. Anyway, you get what I mean, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always like it seems in every RPG, it's like super close to the end of the game, but like the last town that you're in before you go and do the big crazy thing.
Yeah.
Or like whatever, which is kind of basically where we are at this point, aren't we?
Yeah.
We've got this, and then the Sword of Destruction is like going to be the last big thing.
Yeah. We're on the down tilt. of-
Yeah, we're on. Like I said, we got to do
Timeline-wise.
Vacuo, get the sword, or Salem get the sword, most likely, and then back to Beacon.
Yeah. Okay, so wait. Relic wise, there's the crown, sword,
There's the
Crown, sword, lamp,
lamp,
staff.
and staff.
Yeah.
So wait, where's the crown?
Beacon.
The crown is at Beacon?
Yeah.
Oh shit. So it's just like in the rubble there? Or?
No.
doesn't.
All we know is
Spring
that
Festival?
Oz. He says he hit it more creatively than the other relics.
Oh.
Maybe it doesn't have
Are
a
we
door.
sure that means it's a beacon?
I mean,
Is it the Spring Maidens?
Fall. It's the one that Cinder
Oh,
was
Cinder.
going for originally.
yeah. God, I would just love it if Oz just like he's got just like a one of those empty rocks that you hide a hide a key.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a fucking hide a key with the crown in it. Ingenious, no?
Now I think that it's possibly in Salem's grave or tombstone or something. I think that's possible.
Yeah.
Or maybe just on patch and Ty's been like secretly keeping it safe
Maybe.
all these years.
Maybe he has it disguised as a festive hat.
Yeah, he's got to be important in some way, right? We need more Bernie.
Yeah. Give me more Bernie.
What a fucking good character for him to voice.
Yeah. Fucking, I was watching the Volume 3 commentary a couple of nights ago, and they're talking about, like, casting Bernie to play Tai Yang, and they mention Matt, and like, I think we found somebody for Matt. Like, oh yeah, it's been 5 fucking volumes and Hullum is still not shown up. Who is he playing, you long-playing motherfuckers?
Damn.
Oh, wait, yeah, they said they knew who was
Yeah.
gonna play him.
Yeah. Okay, I see. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps that up. As I said, I really, really loved this volume.
Yeah.
This definitely landed for me, and I'm really excited.
There's some divisive shit up online.
Oh yeah,
God, why?
It is super divisive.
yeah.
I don't know if we have time to get into that.
We don't. I'm really looking forward to next volume. There's supposed to be an animated series based on the Fairy Tales of Remnant coming out sometime this year, so hopefully
Cool.
that'll come relatively soon and ease this pain. But that pretty much covers that. We'll do a full season review here in a couple weeks and talk about the larger themes and everything over the whole course of this volume. But right now, we're going to take a quick 5, and we'll be back with your regularly scheduled live Fandom Nonsense right after this.